Hi everyone, my name is Nilesh Bhalchim, and today I have a question for you. How many of us feels that book reading is important? How many of us feels that if we read books regularly, we can become a better version of ourselves? We can create a different perspective on the same topic. Most of us feels that, right? But then I have another question. How many of us wants to read book but they are not able to? Again, most of us, right? Exactly. I have realized this that everybody wants to read a book because they know the benefit of it. But unfortunately, we are not able to because of any reason. Maybe we are not able to concentrate. Maybe we are not able to show the consistency in book reading. We start reading a book, but somehow we just leave it as it is. After realizing this, I have decided that I will be reading books for you. Yes, whatever books I have read so far, I will be creating book reviews for you. So you don't have to go through entire book. You just have to come to this channel and go through the key takeaways from each book. I'm confident enough that these key takeaways will add value in your life. And at the same time, you don't have to go through the entire book. I will go through for you. Let's start with the first book today, which is one of my favorite, and the book name is Start with Why. This book is written by author Simon Sinek, and this author has beautifully mentioned the difference between what, why, and how. So without wasting much time, let's start with the first lesson. And the first lesson is people don't buy what you do. People buy why you do it. Yes. And the beautiful example given by the author in this particular book is Steve Jobs' company, Apple. Now, if any one of you knows who invented the first MP3 player, do you have any idea? Most of us may say that Apple, but no. MP3 player was firstly invented by Singapore-based company Creative Technology. Now, Creative Technology was the first one who invented the music player. However, after 22 months, Apple came in the market with their product in music player, which is, you guessed it right, iPod. And we all know how famous it was. Nobody knows Creative Technologies MP3 player, but all of us knows iPod. iPod from Apple. Now, what's the difference? When Creative Technology invented their products, they branded their product as 5 GB MP3 players. However, the same message given by Apple by saying 1000 songs in your pocket. Now, the basic difference is when Creative Technology branded their products, they focused on what their product is, and that is 5 GB MP3 player. And exactly the same message given by Steve Jobs with the company Apple, 1000 songs in a pocket. This particular company focused on why part of it, why we need that product, because 1000 songs in our pocket. And that's the difference. And we know the history. Don't you think it happens in our real life as well? Most of us focused on what part of our job, but we most often forget why we are doing it. And that's why people say that they lack motivation, they don't get interest in their job, or not only job but in their personal life as well, whatever they are doing. It is mainly because there's an absence of why. If we know why part of it, we'll automatically get to know how we need to do it. If we know why we are doing particular thing, we will find out how we have to do it or what exactly we have to follow. And that's what author focused in this particular book. Start with why. No matter what you're doing, start with why. If you know the why, you will find out how you're going to do it. Second takeaway from this particular book is gut decisions. Now, have you come across with a situation wherein data says something else, but your inner calling, or maybe you feel that the decision which you are taking is the right one? Doesn't matter what data says, doesn't matter what your logical analytical thinking says, but your inner calling, or you feel that that decision is particular right, and that is nothing but a gut decisions. But at the same time, you don't have language. You're not able to convince, or you're not able to explain why you feel that particular decision is right. You know why it happens? Because of your limbic brain. Now, this brain does not have a language, does not have a capacity of language, but this brain handles or responsible for your feelings such as trust, loyalty. It can just feel, and most of the time this particular feeling or this particular decision is right, because this is particular brain has a power of decision making. Our new brain or new part of our brain is neocortex. This particular area of our brain has a capacity of analytical thinking, logical reasoning. This particular brain talks about facts and figures and everything. And this particular part of brain has a language as well. This particular part of brain can explain you why you feel that decision is right because of facts, figures, and data. But this particular neocortex brain does not have capacity of decision making. It will just talk about data and facts and figure, but it will not come to the conclusion, or it will not make the decision. Decision capacity is with the limbic brain, who does not have language. That this particular brain will not explain you the reason, but this particular brain has capacity of decision making with their gut feeling, with their trust, loyalty, whatever decision that particular brain feels right at that time. Sometimes that's why if someone asks you why you married to that particular person, sometimes it's hard to explain why you married to that particular person, because that was part of your limbic brain. Maybe at that time we'll try to rationalize that this person is loyal, beautiful, and she or he stood with me through thick and thin. We try to rationalize it, but actually that is not only the reason, because there are other people as well in this world who helped you in your bad time, who stood with you in your bad time. But you did not marry everyone, right? You married to that particular person because you're not able to explain that. That is because limbic brain does not have power for language or capacity of language, but this is more of feeling, trust, and inner emotions, which is not able to explain by you. And that's what happens. That's why we normally go through our gut decisions sometimes. Third takeaway: overthinking. Now, as we were talking about a new area of our brain, which is neocortex brain, when we force ourselves to take the decision through this particular brain, we end up overthinking. How do we do that? We continuously talk about data, facts, figure, logical reasoning behind the decisions. We always talk about that. And we are not able to take the final decisions because decision making capacity is not part of that particular brain. Decision making capacity is part of the limbic brain. So that's why we try to overthink about it. And if we want to avoid that, if we want to avoid our overthinking, don't just go with the facts and figures and data. Sometimes we also have to use our limbic brain. We also have to use our gut decisions, and in order to avoid the overthinking dilemma. Fourth takeaway from this particular book is absence of why. Now, if there is absence of why, you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, then it becomes very difficult to take the decisions. And when it becomes difficult to take the decisions, we try to figure out facts, figure, data, logical reasoning behind the decisions, all that stuff. But you know what? Authenticity matters. Just getting the right information is not enough to get the success. In order to have long lasting success, you should know why your product or why your company exists in the market. Just by creating high quality product and high marketing will not make your product or your company a long lasting successful company or successful products. So authenticity matters, and authenticity comes with the presence of why. What you are saying and what you are believing and what actually you're doing, it should match. And when it matches, you know your why, and that is what you're following. And if you are following that, people around you, your team will follow the same. And if your team, your organization following the same, your customer will see that. And accordingly, that success, whatever you will be achieving, that success will be the long lasting success with the presence of why. I think that was it from me today with the book Start with Why. I will meet you in my next video with the new book review. Till then, try to figure out your why. Thank you so much. This is Nilesh Bhalchim.